I'm playing some goddamn Chrono Trigger. I got a guest today.
Chrono Trigger?
Play. Yeah, I'm playing Chrono Trigger right now.
Cool.
Yeah, throwback.
Yeah.
All right, talk to the. I just got to the end of the time on my last Let's Play.
Yeah, I beat Chrono Trigger on the DS. That's when I finally beat it. I used to watch my older brother play that game all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'm playing on the SNES, so I don't got the cool DS cutscenes.
yeah, I forgot the DS had cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all these games getting HD remakes. That's one of the ones that need that.
It's
Cause
got the I don't know I like to keep it with the dope ass Kira Toriyama
yeah, that
thing.
yeah, that anime style should stay for cutscenes. Just the game design and whole. I would love an HD remake.
That'd be cool. I'd be down with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So as long as you keep everything the same, but it just look better graphically.
Man, so one of my favorite things that you ever said on Facebook here is Jump Force is a trash game. Fuck y'all, or what? Like I'm paraphrasing, but I totally agree because if Jump Force just looks like a upgraded version of J Stars, and J Stars is
Yeah.
a trash game.
And yeah, J Stars was a trash game. And the funny thing is, I make these posts because I do it too. That's the thing. It's just like I admit it. I
Yeah,
admit when I'll buy a game that's trash just because of certain characters in it or something a certain company has made it. And J Star was the first game like that. Like I used to watch the gameplay and I wasn't amazed by the gameplay, but I just liked that all the anime characters came together. And
yeah.
I bought it, played it for like a good half a year, and then I just like pretty much threw it. I don't know if I have it anymore. I'm looking at my games right now. I don't know if I have it or if I sold it. I probably sold it. But yeah, I don't know. People like they this is the thing. So it becomes a bigger thing than that. It's not like I just want people to admit that it's a bad game. It's that these are like I love video games. And I love video games. If we started not buying shit games, they would have to make them better. Like we could get better games, but it's like the companies know just throw some anime characters in there, they're going to buy it, and
Right,
they
right.
are right every time, and that's exactly
Yeah.
what happens. So they don't never have to work hard because y'all gonna keep buying it. I would love a good anime game where all the characters are together. Whereas, it's not like that. Because at least with J Stars, the funny thing is J Stars, at least you could even run around everywhere. You had the freedom to run around. Jump
That was
Force is
part
just
of the
a
shit that kind of made it trash to me. I was like, dude, there's way too much shit going on. You got to control three characters at once,
see
dude.
the three. Yeah, see, Jump Force is just like it's like what is it doing that Ninja Storm hasn't done or isn't doing? You know what I'm saying? Like Ninja Storm I don't know if I played the last Ninja Storm. Yeah, I did play the last Ninja Storm. It pretty much could do the same thing. It has some, but I just think some of the animations were better. They weren't as stiff. That's the reason why
Yeah,
I like Ninja Force better. I mean Ninja Storm better. But everything that J Stars has done, like Ninja Storm years ago already did. Like you're praising the game for doing the exact same thing, and it doesn't even look as better as another game did it years before it, just because it has a collective of characters
yeah.
instead
All
of
your
just one
favorite
genre.
shonen, all like a good portion of all your favorite shonen characters or whatever. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, so it's just like, I mean, y'all gotta want more. Like if you just a person that don't really play video games and you just like anime, okay, that's for you. But as a video game lover, because when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to be, a game designer. I'm just like terrible at math, and I know math is a big part of it, so I gave up on that. But I used to want to be a game designer, so me wanting to be a game designer is like I look at these games and I'll be like, oh, they could have did this and they could have did that. Like I come up with good ideas with games, and I would love to have an anime crossover game that's great. That I would love to death, but Jump Force just isn't that. And I'm going to buy Jump Force eventually, but I'm going to buy it when it gets really really cheap because Bandai Namco, they anime games always go on sale after a few months and be like half off. So it's like I'm going to get it eventually, but I'm not going to spend $60 when we have games that actually work hard, like Devil May Cry or Resident Evil 2 out here that cost the same price.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
rather spend my money on that.
Right.
I know it's this one guy that I don't really know him. I have a lot of Facebook friends who I don't even know how I became friends with. But I know he gets mad, like furious every time I make like a post about how I like Nintendo the most, company wise. And I don't know if he has like some vendetta against Nintendo, but he gets furious. He started calling me out my name, etc. Just calls me a Nintendo fanboy. But it's just like Nintendo, they have a certain take on their games. Like my favorite game companies, as of right now, well, Nintendo is always going to be my favorite one, but Capcom is doing like fucking fantastic right now. Uh, See, even though Jump Force is terrible, Namco itself is actually doing great. I can't remember the company's name. There's a company that made both J Stars and Jump Force, and they're the reason that those games suck. Like they are the reason to blame. Like Bandai aren't to blame. It's whatever company they keep having developed that game. Uh, but Namco is doing pretty good. I really hope Sega and Square Enix makes a comeback soon because I just couldn't believe that they really messed up Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2 was a masterpiece and y'all really went backwards. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I heard Kingdom Hearts 3, not that it was like a bad game, but it was just like
It was like it
and
was
it was
like game
short.
it was like gameplay wise, it was fantastic. Like when I first got the game, I was making statuses like, "Oh my god, this game is great!" Because I was just playing the gameplay. The gameplay was fantastic. The fighting was
I
way better
remember
than
seeing
two.
one of your posts saying, man, next like one moment you're playing Kingdom Hearts, next moment you're watching a Disney movie."
Yeah, exactly. Like I was like I think Tangle. When I went to the world of Tangle and I went to the world of Frozen, they had like the longest cutscenes, and
Yeah.
they were like pretty much ripped right out of the movie. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, am I watching the movie? Like I've seen these movies. I've seen almost every Disney movie. I don't need to see this. Like y'all need to go back. Like what I think ruined the game is I think like Disney because Disney is just like this almighty business now. Like they didn't really came up with all the stuff they own. I think Disney just like kicked down the door and was like, okay, we could like it's gonna be like 10% Square Enix now and 90% Disney this time around. It used to be like 50-50. Now it's just like Disney just straight up took over and that ruined the game. Like the biggest thing that people loved about Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 was like the Final Fantasy characters. That's what really brought people to that game in the first place. Then they were like, "Oh, it's also a good game." And then you have like no Final Fantasy characters in there. They mentioned Cloud once. And then after that, like Squall was like the leader of like the Freedom Fighters or something, and you don't even see Squall. I'm like, what is going on? And the Sephiroth fight that was in 1 and 2, that was like the fight people talked about forever because it's still one of the hardest boss fights of all time. Uh, he's just he's gone. It's just like you took away what people loved about the game just to like let Disney take over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want these companies to do better, and I love Sonic. Sonic is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. As many people know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people love Sonic themselves. But his games are just bad right now. Like they need to really. I really like Sonic Forces. Have you played Sonic Forces?
I have not played Sonic Forces. I do not really do much modern gaming, but I like
Uh-huh.
to like watch the videos and shit still. I still like to keep updated on the lore, especially for like Sonic and Mario shit for stuff that I grew up with, like
Yeah,
oh
yeah. Sonic Forces to me it had a good setting. It was almost like I feel like it could have been a good game. They need to find that good mixture. Like I feel like if Sonic Forces got mixed with like Sonic Adventure, because Sonic Adventure, even though I'm not one of the fans that asked for another Sonic Adventure game, I do know it is like everyone's favorite. Like Sonic
Yeah.
Adventure was when Sonic was really popping. Uh,
Sonic Adventure was really fun. I really enjoyed the last Sonic game I played was Sonic Generations. I enjoyed the shit out
okay,
of that game.
yeah. See, Sonic Forces is somewhere around that area. Sonic Generations is around that area.
Yeah.
It just falls short in a few places. I feel like the story could have just been so much more because the story just could have been more. Like, I like how they're starting to make Eggman like pretty much the last boss, no matter what. Now, even if it's like some new entity, Eggman still comes out to be like the last boss in the end, and
Yeah.
I like that because I always wanted him to be.
Did
But
you
it's
ever
like,
read? Did you ever read any of those Archie comics?
oh yeah, I've read
Mega
so
Man, and
many of
Sonic
those.
crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
I That's like one of the most ingenious ideas ever because Dr. Wily and Dr. Robotnik is a good villain team up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very very much. Because I love the second team up when they got X involved, and then all of a sudden you start seeing characters that like. So it's this one game, and I feel like if you love Chrono Trigger, you will love this game. If there's some way you could find this game, like get an old PlayStation off of Amazon or eBay or something, and find this game, I guarantee you'll love it. It's called Breath of
Oh,
Fire 3.
dude, I know all about Breath of Fire,
Oh, you
man.
do? Okay, all right then. Yeah. So yeah, Breath of Fire 3. When I was reading the Archie comic and then I just saw Ryu from Breath of Fire 3, that version specifically, I was like, "Oh my god, like Capcom hasn't forgotten about this guy cuz he was a great character.
Yeah.
He's my older brother, like one of his like top 5 favorite characters in all video game. And yeah, I really that's what I'm talking like with Capcom doing so good right now. I feel like these are perfect times to bring back characters like that in a new way, so he can make a comeback. Because I remember, matter of fact, what was it? Marvel versus Capcom 3. I think in one of the characters' endings, you see Ryu. You either see Ryu or Ray. And Ray was my favorite character on Breath of Fire 3. You either see Ryu or Ray. Uh, and one of the endings. So it's like he's not a forgotten character. You put him in a comic book, you put him in a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 ending, like he's a character they need to bring back.
Yeah, definitely. It was cool in Breath of Fire 4. You do get to see Ray and Timo
Yeah, with the little shop.
at the little shop. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that scene. When me and my brother saw that scene, we were like amazed because we really like as a kid, as being a young child, that was the character that made my favorite. Ray made my favorite animal tigers, and he
Yeah,
was the first character that I just like straight up loved, and I was like, I can't get enough of this guy.
right. Oh man, Ray was fantastic.
He was.
I even liked him in the adolescence art, like in the first half of the game before you could even go Were Tiger. He was just that.
Yeah, yeah, he was just that cool guy. He was just that real cool guy. Him. Did you like Brother Fire 4?
I did like Breath of Fire 4.
Yeah, I like Brother Fire 4.
That was the last good game of the franchise.
Yeah, that was the last good game because 5 it was just weird. I don't know what route they took with 5. I don't know what that was, but it just wasn't what people wanted. I don't think.
Yeah.
3 was my favorite. I don't know what it was about 3. It had this color and this feel to it,
Three was
and
the best. Three was
yeah,
actually
3 was
the
the best
best.
one. It
Um,
had this color, this feel to it, and then it had the combination of dragon transformations.
the Fusion Dragons, the Master
Yeah,
was good. Fishing was fun.
you could pretty much go Super Saiyan at the end of it if you wanted to.
Yeah, because the Kaiser form. The
Yep, the
Kaiser
Kaiser
form
form.
it was Ryu with the golden hair and shit, dude. He looked just like a Super Saiyan, dude. He was nice.
Yeah, he and me and my brother always had a theory. We always had a theory that because at Breath of Fire 4, you found out Falu was your other half. So it was just like when they combined officially at the end. Remember, his hair turned back gold,
Yeah.
and that was why because on 3 his hair was gold, and I guess that half of him flew away. It went away, and then when they combined back together, his hair went gold again.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, but Breath of Fire, that's a game that I would love to come back with Capcom. Square Enix, I think Square Enix has one game. I don't know. So this is another game that if you love Chrono Trigger, I think you will love this game. Have you ever played Legend of Mana?
Yeah, Legends of Mana is a good game. I thought you were about.
Ooh.
I thought you were about to say Xenogears.
Oh, Xenogears. It's so funny with Xenogears because I guess that series is like owned by Nintendo now, and I didn't really understand that, so I went like back, and did research because I never played Xenogears. I never have, and I remember when I was a kid reading Game Informer books all the time, I would see that girl with the blue hair, and I never knew where she was from, and then all of a sudden, I'm at me as a Nintendo fan, I'm buying Xenoblade, and I go back and do some research, and then find out that that was that game all along.
Yeah,
They matter
it
of
just
fact,
had a really fun gameplay dynamic where you're like, and I was a big Gundam fan at the time because like Gundam Wing came out like right around the same time as Xenogears did, or
so
like so I just felt like I was playing a Gundam game.
right. See, that's the thing. See, I used to be a big Gundam fan, but I don't know if you saw these posts, but it was a game that I had. A game, a demo that just came out recently called Damon X Machina. And I don't know if
Okay,
you saw my post, but this game is like it's just really good. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy like over the top, never been done before. But I guess the one thing that hasn't been done before is that you customize this giant robot. Like customization with the giant robot, it's kind of similar to Armor Core. You played Armor Core?
no, I never did.
Okay, Armor Core is you could customize the shit out of your robot.
Yeah,
And have fights and stuff online, etc. But this game is similar to that. But the thing that they have done that nobody else has done is that you can get out of your robot and fight on foot also. And I
okay, yeah,
like
I've seen that. Yeah,
yeah, I like that. And that's a new Nintendo game. That's what I because when I made my post not that long, I don't know if it was yesterday or whatever, but when I made that post about how Nintendo and Capcom have made the biggest comebacks, they really have because what was that like a year ago? They were both doing like or like maybe 2 years ago. No. About 3 years ago, I'll say they was doing terrible. They were both doing pretty terrible. And Capcom first good comeback was the Resident Evil 7. Even though I wasn't a fan, uh, personally, like I understand it was a good game, and for people who love first person view, it had to be a great game. With me, first person view gets stale because it's just like how different can you make a first person view game?
right. Yeah,
It's not really much you can do. You aim, you shoot, you may find some items. It's not really much you can do. But I did respect that it did something different, and I see that it brought Resident Evil back. A lot of people didn't like six. I love the six. It's a personal preference, and it's the funny thing about six is that I feel like six got too real for people, and I know people will probably go backwards. They're like, no, it got too fake because you could just punch your way out of every fight and et cetera, et cetera.
yeah.
And the reason why it was real to me was because it's called character development. Like you gotta think realistically. These people have
You
been
should be able
fighting
to punch
zombies.
zombies in the face, dude. Like,
Yeah, these people have been fighting zombies since the '90s, and in their world too. It was in the '90s, and their not just our world, in their world too. It was the '90s. So you telling me you don't think that these people have gotten so good that they know how to kick and punch and fight and not just rely on their guns? Like that's character development. That's what you
right.
actually want is people to get experience. But I
The
feel like
the
it was too,
updated Resident Evil 2 looks fantastic, dude. Like it looks like the most fantastic Resident Evil ever made.
yeah, no, that's what I want. I haven't played it yet. I ended up buying Devil May Cry 5 first
Yeah,
because I could not wait for that Devil May Cry because everybody hated DMC, that reboot. People didn't mess with that. Uh, and it seemed that they back with it. I'm glad. It looks real good. Yeah, it looked real good, and I bought it. And it did story wise, it was just like the story exactly what I wanted. Basically, the story exactly went exactly the way I wanted in a way. So it was just perfect. It was a perfect game. I know updates are going to come. I know it. I don't know what kind. It's either gonna be an update or they just go continue the story, obviously, because how they ended that game. No spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, dude, this show's all about spoilers.
it
I do on
is.
my channel, dude. We're all about spoilers. So like,
Okay, okay. Well, then with them, with Virgil and Dante finally like
all right,
being
someone.
brothers.
Hey, hold on for 1 second, dude. I got beef with someone here in the live chat. Little boy says, Timone, One Piece trash. And now I got fucking fighting words with this motherfucker. One Piece is the greatest shonen anime ever made.
See, look, this is the thing. I don't hate One Piece. I've never really got into it, so
Yeah,
it's not because of anything wrong with it. Because there's games that shows that I have watched that I just stopped watching, like Bleach, and I love Bleach. From what I've seen, I loved, but I just
yeah.
stopped watching it. Some animes I stopped watching for some reason, and then it's just like I want to go back to it, but it would take so long to catch up. Like Bleach, I think I stopped watching like one season of Bleach. Then I went back, and then people that were bad were good, and then they were in schools and stuff. And I was like, what is going on? I was just lost. So it was just like no point for me to.
Bleach has like really amazing artwork, but like no good story.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. The story isn't. I think the biggest. What was the biggest reveal to me? The biggest reveal to me out of that entire story, and it's crazy for this to be the biggest reveal since this story has had like so many episodes. The biggest reveal was that Ichigo's father was also a Soul Reaper.
I thought the bigger reveal than that was that his mom was a Quincy.
I mean, you might as well put those neck to neck because that is true. That is true.
Yeah,
That was also a big reveal. But those were like the only two things that revealed and like surprised you with something. Everything else was just,
yeah, whatever.
just anime. Yeah, just whatever.
This just your basic shonen anime.
Yeah, that's true. But one thing I do though, every time I got one friend named Keenan who loves One Piece, and he told me about some stuff. So I went home and I watched a few clips, a few fights, uh, and I was like, these fights are really good, better than what I remember.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I like one time I saw an article say like One Piece had one of the best fight scenes of all time, and I was like, no, it doesn't. One Piece isn't about the fight scenes at all, dude. It's about like the whole fucking world dynamic. Because like there's this huge world dynamic. There's like I don't. There's so much shit going on. There's like thousands of fucking characters that you all like that you always remember that you always pay attention to. It's like as big as goddamn it Marvel universe, like with all the
Yeah.
characters that you've gotten involved with and shit. It's
Hmm.
it's fucking crazy. So like, it's not about the fight scenes in One Piece at all, dude. It's just about the whole story dynamic.
Yeah, I like I can see I like their character development also because the funny thing is I watched that show. I watched One Piece when it was back on like it came on Saturday mornings on a what was that WB for kids or something like
Oh
that.
man,
So
yeah,
it was
that was the most terrible dub they had.
yeah, that was when I watched it, and my favorite character has always been the what's his name Renji.
Sanji.
Sanji, thank you. Where's Renji from? Now I want to remember
Renji is
where.
from Bleach.
Thank you, thank you. I was just watching the. Thank you. That's where that confusion came from. But yeah, Sanji is my favorite character. And I was watching him fight his family and stuff, and it makes when I watch these little clips of fight scenes and everything, I do want to watch it so I can see more than it. Because it's a
Yeah,
good anime when the fighting is not the most important part. Because
yeah,
game like animes like Dragon Ball Z, as much as I love Dragon Ball Z, what I mean, it's more so about fighting. People want to see Goku get more powerful. People want to see a good ass fight. Animes like Naruto. And what is my personal favorite anime? My personal favorite anime is called Ippo no. I always forget how to say it because it's so Japanese when you say it.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna call it Ippo, or the American version is Fighting Spirit. I think it's no Hijima Ippo, something like that. But anyway, it's a boxing anime. Really, really damn good. Like
Okay,
really good.
I think I've seen clips of that, dude. When I was
See,
searching when I was searching for stuff that's similar to Baki.
now it depends. Now, yeah, I can see that, but it also depends because there's one more anime that just came out recently. uh with boxing called Megalore Boxer or something like that, and they use like these mechs on their arms to box, and I watched some of that. Oh crap! I think we're about to lose. Yep, we lost. I watched some of that, and it is
What are you
actually
playing?
good. I'm playing Splatoon 2 right now on Nintendo. It's like
Okay, right on.
it's like a
I know about Splatoon.
okay, you know about Splatoon, good. Because I found this funny post online that
They're
was
in
like,
Smash now, aren't they? Aren't the Splatoon
yep,
characters in
yep, the
Smash?
Splatoon characters are in Smash. So hard to fight online. I'm not that good. I'm not that good at fighting that character online yet. Brand new characters to get used to fighting. That character is kind of a tricky one a little bit. They do gotta, cause every character gotta be balanced. They do got an ink meter, and if it run out, they run out of ammo.
Yeah,
But other than that, they pretty damn tough, well balanced, kind of fast, kind of strong, etc., etc.
yeah.
But are you down with the battle royale games?
I know about them. I heard there's this new game that's out. I was watching a Nux Taku video and he was advertising this computer game to where it's an MMO, but it also implicates
A
um,
battle royale like
battle
system.
royale stuff into it. So like
Hmm.
you start out as these shadow people, and then you go into the world and you possess somebody, and then each person possesses somebody else or whatever. And then you go in and
Hmm.
it's just
That sounds pretty damn cool.
yeah. The graphics look uh like Oblivion or some shit. Like not too terrible.
See, I feel like the battle royale could be something real good if they found a way to make a strong story slash battle royale system like MMO type game. If it was a game like how GTA and Red Dead, they just throw you in the world and you can just run up on anybody and kill them,
Yeah,
or you could try to stop them doing their mission. If they did that to an extent of when you kill somebody, they just go like when you come back to life, you just go to a new like a new server, different people everywhere. So that way, it's like if you do kill somebody on the game, it really feels like you killed somebody. Like they're gone. You're never going to see them again, unless y'all send friend requests or something like that.
yeah.
Games like that. Have you ever played For Honor?
No,
What systems do you have?
I don't have any systems. I'm just using this SNES emulator.
I need to see. Do you know about the good? What simulator are you using?
Uh, SNEX 9X.
There's this one. I don't know if it's for a computer though. That's the only problem. It's this one called Happy Bay that I love a lot.
Yeah.
And Happy Bay is I had it on the phone and it was great. I played Link 2, Zelda 2, Link's Adventure,
Okay.
and it played well. I just got to this one part where the game glitched, and it was my fault the game glitched because when you're using simulators, you can cheat like hell. You can just
Yeah.
save the game right there before a fight or something like that, and just be good.
Yeah, you
And
can just do
so,
like a quick save and yeah,
yep,
just in case you fuck up.
yep, exactly. And that's how I beat so many emulator games.
Yeah. I
Just
would- I
like
would just a lot of times I would like speed games up just by buffing up the frame rate, like for like Breath of Fire 1 and 2.
uh-huh. I know I played. See, the one good RPG that is surprising that is really really good is Mario and Luigi Superstar Sagas. It was funny because this is the funny thing. As much as of a Nintendo fan I am, and people know that I'm a Nintendo fan, like until recently, like around that time I played that game, which was probably I would say 2013. Because that game was pretty damn old, but I didn't play it until that year. Uh, I hated Mario. I hated him as a character. He just bored me. I don't know what it was. He just bored me. I didn't like him as a character. And then all of a sudden, I played Mario and Luigi, and I was like, this is just like a new take on the character, and I like it.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
good RPG though, because
nice.
Square. Well, Square Enix didn't make that. Square Enix made the Super Mario RPG on the Super NES,
Right.
and then Square Enix left the project, and Nintendo didn't touch it for years until the Game Boy Advance. But now it's just Square Enix wasn't involved, but they still took away from that though. They still pretty much took the same dynamic, so it's still
Right.
Square Enix esque.
I get you.
Yeah, great game. I hope
Nice.
with the Nintendo Switch doing such big numbers, I really hope that they start bringing some games from the 3DS to the Switch. Uh, because if they made a Mario RPG like in 3D, that would be big.
Do Mario RPG. That's the game I'm actually going to be playing after I beat Chrono Trigger. I'm going to be going into Mario
What?
RPG. So like,
Oh man. See, I don't know why I can't get into the game. I really would want to get into the game,
the
but
game
I can't.
introduced one of the coolest Mario characters of all time that Nintendo doesn't
Gino.
have rights for. That's
Yeah.
rights for it.
Everybody loves Gino. Gino is like Gino is like the Vincent of Mario.
Yeah.
That's what people need to understand.
So you're a writer too, right? What you got? Anything cool shit you're working on?
So I stopped writing for certain reasons, but I'm about to get back into it. I did write a lot. And when I say wrote a lot, the thing is like people don't understand when you write comic books, even though it takes a lot of thought, they are pretty like short in a paper. Because for example, let's say I wrote a page that
I,
was
I'll write like I usually write like an 8 to 10 page script that should be about 20 pages of artwork and shit. You know, like,
yeah. See, me is like let's see, how would I put it? Okay, so let's say I wrote a page, and the page was the character walks into the room, but this page just so happens to be just one page. You know what I mean? Like it's one full page, and the only thing was the character walks in the room. There's no dialogue or anything.
yeah,
So when I tell people like, yeah, I wrote a 20-page paper, I mean book, it just so may be very shorter than what you may think.
right.
But I still have written a lot, which is I have a few characters, E Soldier, Orisis, which is my good friend Joe Cross. He's the original creator because every character I've created my personal self. Joe Cross is the only character who's created some other characters, and his character was Orisis. I like I just helped him with the backstory a little bit. He's told me the
Yeah,
powers. He's like Orisis is like a let's say Spawn mixed with Batman. That's pretty much what Orisis is, and
goddamn,
and I
that's no fair.
like that's what he likes, and he has some good characters too. I
Yeah,
think I only created like what I like is our demon world. I like our magic lore. That's what I like. And every world, they have their own magic, their own ideas of magic, and my idea of magic is a different take that nobody has done yet.
right.
And what magic is in my comic book world is it originates to do the spell, you have to say it in the language it originated in. So if there was a wizard who created fire magic, you would have to say fire in Russian if that wizard was in Russian those years ago. And that's
Okay,
how it goes. So if you say a spell, if he says ice, he'll have to say ice in whatever language it is, whether it's Japanese or Portuguese, or, whatever it is. Um, and that's how it kind of goes in that world. Right now, I'm still trying to find this demon thing,
yeah,
how the demons work in our world because Orisis, how Orisis works is he was close to death. He was about to die, and the Grim Reaper came. And in this world, when you die, For your last few seconds, you can see the Grim Reaper. Um, so the Grim Reaper came, and the Grim Reaper stabbed him with the blade, the scythe. And when he stabbed him with the scythe, some reason, later on that would probably be revealed, the
Yeah.
scythe broke. And when the scythe broke, a piece of the scythe absorbed into him. Rice's real name is Nick. And it absorbed into Nick, and he got like these half Grim Reaper powers. So he's like a half Grim Reaper. And that's how his powers originated. He has like this green necroplasm energy that's Spanisk. His suit is more like Batman's and everything.
Yeah.
But my character, so this is how this lore goes, because the lore goes deep with my comic books. My lore starts in like most comic book worlds, a war. It was the Vietnam War, and what happened is there was a war breaking out, the regular Vietnam War, and everybody's fighting, etc. And then all of a sudden, um, a ship appears in outer space. Now, not to bore with the details, a when a ship appears, the whole world comes together. Viet Cong, Americans, blah blah. They all come together. They fight it. They win. Now it goes deeper into the win. It becomes a big story about the win, and I do like that story. But they
Okay.
win. So when they win, the ship explodes and it releases these pathogens into the air. And these pathogens they stay in the human race, and that's what how all these people start getting powers, whether it be then or in the future, in the past. People's DNA, that's where it came from. Uh, and when they got this, it was also material that was left over from these ships. And, scientists knowing America and people like that, they saw the powers and the science behind it, and they took that science and they made weapons and etc.
Yeah.
And this comes to this one, the character that's based off of me, because all of my characters are based off of real life people for the most part.
Yeah.
Uh,
So are mine.
and
Like most of my, like, I even use their real names and shit too for the most part.
see, for me I used middle names sometimes. Like my middle name is Dupree, so the character I'm about to explain in a second, his name is Dupree Hadley. The name Hadley is my father's last name, not my actual last name. So that's how I did it. Just make it you know where the name comes from. But his name is E Soldier. The best way to describe him, look and ability wise, would be something like Red Hood meets um Red Hood meets Venom. That would be so much like Agent Venom, but with a twist. Let's say Agent
Right.
Venom with a twist. And his power, the E soldier, because everyone asks what E soldier, they're like, what does the E stand for? It's element. And when I say element, because it's like two ways of saying element. When I say element, people are like, oh, so he got elemental powers like wind, fire, what? I was thinking that, but then I went a different direction, more of a sciencey direction. So he, because pretty much the periodic table controls. I mean, it's made up of everything. Everything in our world is pretty much made from. You can find the elements in the periodic table. So I
Right.
thought to myself, how can I make a person with an infinite amount of power that he has to learn to tap into, so he's not overpowered and actually, make sense out of it. So he has a piece, this thing that when how it looks description wise is like a solid, a gas, and a liquid all in one. It just looks like that. You're looking at a small circular orb that's giving off a slight smoke, and it looks solid, but it looks kind of liquid also.
Right.
And he touched it. When he touched it, it sucked up into his arm and went into his brain in a very painful way, as most heroes go through stuff. And it got stuck to his brain. It's like it's a part of him now. If you take that out, he dies. Period. Even though it's almost impossible to take it out, if you are able to, he will die. And it lets out these blood cells, which I call nanocells instead of nanomachines. They're called nanocells because these nanocells can take forms of any element from the periodic table. So this is how he makes, metals and bullets, ammunition, and has a nigh infinite amount. Um, I had to do my research for his armor because every superhero world always comes up with a metal that's lighter and stronger than titanium.
Yeah.
So I made up a metal called tinesium alloy. Uh, so there's the strongest metal in the real world is magnesium. Magnesium can be found in the Earth's crust. I don't know much about it. I just did a lot of research. Uh, so I thought to myself, how about if I fuse the two, magnesium and titanium, and he coats his skin with it. So it's like a skin-like substance, but it's that hard and it's that tough. And that's how he puts his outfit on, each soldier. And I really liked that idea a lot, and I love that character. I've only written two scripts, two books with him. My older brother's character, his name is Levon, half demon. Best way to describe him is like a mixture of Blade, Dante from Devil May Cry, and Doctor Strange. Not that powerful, but that's just the best way to describe him, though.
Right.
And he knows all these magical abilities. He has a sword called the Immortal Slayer. I didn't want to make him overpowered, but I wanted to give him an overpowered weapon. And his weapon is like it can kill you no matter what. If you have a soul, it can kill you. Period. So even if you Superman, and we all know how strong Superman is, pretty
So,
much
yeah.
unbeatable. But you have a soul, he can stab you with it, and you ain't healing or nothing like that. Uh, and it's called and his story, I think, is one of the greatest stories. I, I don't want to say it's new because I was recently. Have you ever heard of Bayonetta?
Yeah.
I was recently watching the backstory, and I kind of forgot that this happened on Bayonetta, and I didn't have this in mind when I made up his backstory, but I saw that the backstories are kind of similar. So in this world, there's this magical order called the nuns who portray themselves as just like regular nuns at a church in Mexico, because my brother's character is half black, half Mexican,
Okay.
and they portray themselves as regular nuns in Mexico, but they're demon slayers and all women, and there's this one great demon with there's different type of demons. They have a different color eye, and each demon's different eye color kind of determines how strong they are. And there's like a legendary color called the blue-eyed demons. And my brother's character, his father's name is Eric. He's like the only blue-eyed demon left, and she falls for him. It's a nun,
That's
strong
cute.
warrior. Hmm?
That's cute.
Right. um, so she pretty much falls for him. And they have a child, and he uses his magic because nuns, first off, they're not supposed to have sex in the first place, and then secondly, definitely not with a demon, a thing you're sworn to kill. So they use magic to hide her stomach, from the pregnancy. So it's like it didn't seem like she was pregnant until it was the day to have the baby, and they ran off in secrecy to have the baby. And as soon as Levon was born, the leader of the nuns, and so a few other nuns burst in. They used magic to hold Eric up to the wall, and they mercilessly killed his love right in front of his eyes. And they were about to kill the son, and then he just went all demon on them and just like killed all of them. And he saved his son. Now before he left, so every nun has this magical pendant on their neck,
Yeah.
and before he left her, he he grabbed the pendant. You know, that's the basic thing in movies, but he did something different though. So he took him to New Mexico, which is in America, and left him at a nun doorstop, a nun doorstep.
Wait. New Mexico's in America?
Yeah, new. Hold on, am I saying this right? Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying this right because I swear we have a. Yeah, I think New Mexico is in America. You making me second guess myself. I know that New Mexico is in America. I'm second guessing myself now. Let me just look this up real fast though, because I don't want to sound stupid. So let me just look this up. Yeah, you got it. Yes, New Mexico is in America. That just confused me so hard. I'm about to say, was my whole life a lie? Is it not in America?
Oh
But
man.
but yeah, New Mexico is in America. He took his son there, where he left him at a nun doorstep. These are regular nuns he left them with, and uh and that's how he was raised. But before he left him there, the pendant that he took from his woman, he slit his wrist while holding the pendant and let some of his blood flow into the pendant. So it created this new type of power that was bestowed upon the main character, where it's like a heaven and hell type of power mixture, and
Yeah.
um and that's how he left with his character. I'm still trying to like I think I messed up a little bit story wise when I was writing the demons out. I made some stuff that didn't make sense, so I think I got to go back and rewrite a few things. But yeah, blue eyed demons. We have the yellow eyed demons, red eyed demons, and another color that I can't remember. Oh yeah, black.
Right on. Man, I'm in the process of building this whole universe. I'm gonna have my first book out next year sometime. And it's the first book is an intro piece. It's a 5 book series, and it's
Hmm.
gonna just introduce a bunch of stuff that takes place in my hometown, and then like in Elmhurst, Illinois. Uh,
Right.
but like all 5 of them tie into each other, like in a sense. Like you just see different perspectives of different characters at the same events that are happening at the same time, and
Hmm.
uh, it's gonna be pretty fun. I got the second book introduces this Green Lantern type character. He's kind of essentially Green Lantern mixed with Blue Beetle. Like
Ah.
the thing that's inside of him that gives him the powers or whatever, like talks to him like in his
Hmm.
head. But you get to see the dialogue between the two and like their little banter and stuff. I've sort of taken writing tips from Akira Toriyama, where you always have like a duo instead of just like a solo person that just talks to himself. I have actually 2 books with just like a solo character that
Mm.
you rely off their like the narration also to feed into with the dialogue or whatever. So like I don't know, I use different writing styles for different stories because like
All right, that's nice.
that's what just you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, no, I like that. See, what I need is so. Are you making your what is your like your brand called?
Um, my it's a Vernon Avenue Press. Dude, I got a sweet ass logo I got and everything, dude. I got it approved to like it's pretty much my own like, press company. But
Hmm.
I got it approved by like the state and shit.
Oh man, I need to do stuff like that. See, I have Crisis Comics, but I'm pretty sure that most of my team is disbanded because I'm pretty sure they think I'm like bullshitting because some personal stuff happened in my life, so I wasn't really on my comic stuff like usual.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure a lot of them, left the team. I sent a message literally not that long ago, just explaining a little bit of my situation. And I said in the message, like, if y'all done with Crisis Comics, that's understandable because it has been some time. Uh, but I do. The main issue is I can't find a letterer. I could not find a letterer anywhere. I did. I tried to learn. I tried to learn it myself, but I couldn't find any equipment for my laptop, so I could just be my own letterer. So I was just stuck.
right. I don't know where I gotta go.
But I have a whole page. Oh, what the hell just happened?
You
Why am
just
I game?
you just died, man. You suck.
No, I didn't die. Luckily enough, I didn't die. It's just like my PS4 went to the main. It said something. I don't know what the hell it said, but it ain't that no more. Oh, I think it said something about the data. How about how many? I got too many games downloaded. I get it.
Too many games. You're slowing your shit down.
Yeah, exactly. My friend wants me to play this Ghost Recon Wild West, which is actually a good game, just kind of slept on.
Man, this modern games just got too intense for me, and everything got too expensive. I had this comic book junkie habit like all last year, where I was my comic book shop opens at 11 o'clock every day, right?
Uh-huh.
Every Wednesday I'd show up there at like 10:50. 10 minutes before the freaking doors open. I spend like 50 to $80 every Wednesday, dude. I just had to quit cold turkey, man. I was like, man,
Man,
I was
see,
spending way.
I tried to get a job in my comic book shop, but I didn't get the job. I wish I
Yeah.
did. I wish I got the job, but my comic book shop kind of far. If it was closer, I'd probably be just like you, going into the shop as soon as I could.
Man, every day, or not every day, every Wednesday though, when the new books came out, dude, because like you had to get there early, because you got there later in the day, or you went there on Thursday, dude. Like half the shit would be gone, dude. Like,
Yeah, it's exactly true.
man, it was crazy. And like, but I got into this. Like, it's dude. It all starts out, dude. You just buy a spectacular Spider-Man #1 because you have the original #1. You're just trying to add it to your collection or whatever. Then next thing you know, dude, like I wasn't even there to buy comic books. I was there to buy D&D equipment, like some dice and shit, and some like whatever. And dude, it's oh man, the salesman's all like, "Oh, we got this spectacular #1." I'm like, "All right, dude, I'll get that because I got the original, dude. Like, why the fuck not?"
Right. Yeah,
So
see me, I think, cause I haven't bought any comic books for a minute, but it's always weird with me buying comic books. I always try to look for a specific kind. I do know I have been getting back to the Venom comic books, because this is the
Venom
thing about
stuff is fantastic.
but this is the thing about Venom. I actually, in as much as it pains me to say this, because me and my brother love Eddie Brock to death, I loved Flash Thompson's Agent Venom more. It was
Yeah.
something about that. It was something about that character that I just liked more.
Okay. I don't really know much about Agent Venom besides what I've seen on like Ultimate Spider-Man cartoons and shit.
Oh, see, he was in the comic books first.
I
How
know.
now
I know
they
that.
had to okay, so they had to make him more kitty in the
Yeah.
show. But on a comic book, he actually Flash, went to prison. I mean, not prison. He went to the army, and he was a very good marksman. They him and his friends got all wounded. He saved everyone, took out a whole bunch of terrorists, in war, and he lost his legs, and they used him for an experiment to combine him with Venom, and he was a fucking awesome ass Venom. He was Venom for a while too, but he was an awesome ass Venom. He had a new sleek look, like an armored sleek look,
Yeah,
and
he was pretty cool.
yep, he had his guns and shit. He joined the New Avengers for a little while. Well, no, were they New Avengers or were they? Yeah, they were New Avengers. He joined the New Avengers for a while. He joined the Thunderbolts, which have to be my favorite Marvel team. That I don't think stayed together long enough though. They should have stayed together longer. Thunderbolts had to be an awesome ass team. They had Red Hawk, Agent Venom, Deadpool, Punisher, Elektra, uh, Leader, the bad guy with the big ass head that I don't even like him. I don't even. They just had to have a smart guy, I guess.
Leader's
Um,
okay.
yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Well, Ghost Rider eventually joined, but when Ghost Rider joined, that was literally the exact time that Agent Venom left. Um, and it was just my favorite team. It had almost all my favorite people. Well, it had my two favorite people at the time, which was Deadpool and Agent Venom. I loved it. I love Deadpool. I've always been a Deadpool fan. I got hit to Deadpool when X-Men Legends 2 was a thing.
Okay.
and that was my first time seeing him, and I love this guy. This guy's
I
cool.
remember old X-Force comics with like him and Cable and shit like that. Like back when he
Yeah.
had like the throwback like gray suit and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
remember old Deadpool like that, and like he was still fucking like batshit crazy, but he wasn't as silly or as goofy as he is now. Like he didn't.
Yeah,
There
yeah, they
wasn't
made him
much
goofier.
breaking the fourth wall and doing all that stuff, and then it just got that just became him eventually.
Yeah, I think it's because that's what the fans drew more to, so that's what they made it more of. But I will say, like, he still does have a serious side. That's what I like about him. Because like one of my most recent comic books I was reading to him, he was like protecting this guy from all these assassins. And when he was protecting them, he didn't really know why he was protecting them. Like he was like, well, "Why are all these people after you in the first place?" And then the guy wasn't really explaining much. And then he was like, he called his boy Weasel, and then when he called Weasel, he was like, what did this guy do? And then the guy kind of just blurted it out. He was like, well,
Yeah.
sometimes when you're doing experiments, kids die. And when he said kids die, Deadpool's face changed up real quick, and he was like, hold on for a second. And then he put Weasel on speaker, and when he put Weasel on speaker, he shot him right in his face.
That's just what you got to do sometimes.
That's exactly what you got to do sometimes. Oh man, I feel bad playing it. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 now, and I feel bad that I just had to kill these two women. Somebody was playing with two women characters, and I just blew them back with shotguns. That's
Oh
that Red
man,
Dead
dude.
feeling. They
Sometimes,
shouldn't have been. They
sometimes
shouldn't have
man,
been.
got to go.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been playing with female characters, man. It was a battle royale too.
It's a
I
battle
actually,
royale.
I just won that battle royale.
Oh,
Wonder
sweet,
how
the
much.
bridge is done.
Wonder how much money I got from that.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna get Frog back soon.
Do you got any upcoming? Well, you haven't been playing any of the new games. Is there any new games you would like to get though?
Um, man, I'm really close to considering buying a Nintendo Switch.
That might be
Uh,
your best bet.
man, freaking Sword and Shield looks fantastic. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what else? Uh, Sword and Shield looked fantastic. I wanted to get Let's Go Pikachu. Breath of the Wild was good, dude. Smash Brothers. Like
Oh man, yeah, Nintendo is killing it right now.
Nintendo has always been killing the game, dude. Like Nintendo is probably the most innovative uh
Yeah, yeah.
entertainment company
Mm-hmm.
for internet for interactive entertainment anyways, dude. Like they're freaking the Nintendo DS was ahead of the game with the touchscreen and all that shit, dude. PSP tried so hard to try to mimic that shit, dude, and it just fell flat in
Yep,
like
fell
almost
flat.
every aspect of the way.
Yeah.
The 3DS was great, dude, and it also integrated with the just like the Nintendo DS, like how it integrated with the Wii, the 3DS integrated with the Wii U, and then
Mm-hmm.
The Switch just combined the two and to make like, dude, it's a console and it's a portable handheld at the same goddamn time. So like, dude, killing the goddamn game, dude.
Yeah,
Seriously.
exactly. People see that's the problem. Problem nowadays is people are too graphic crazy. And even though the Switch has some damn good graphics, they're not Capcom, Resident Evil 2 remake level right now. So people they overlook the games that aren't that yet, you know.
Even if they did a Resident Evil 2 remake for the Switch and just downplayed the graphics a little bit, made it a little bit more cell shaded or some shit, it would still
Yeah, I
be a
mean
good game.
they could literally do Resident Evil 2 graphics like let's say, cause I'm pretty sure the Switch could push out like Resident Evil 6 graphics. If they just downed it to that, it would still be look fantastic. It would still be good.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to delete this game right here. So I got to delete some games so this game can install. One of my friends are like, "Come on, man, I'm trying to play this Ghost Recon Wildlands with you."
All right, 2 minutes standby. I'm using the bathroom.
All right, no problem.
All right. All right, and we're back.
All right.
All right. So what's going on in this live chat? Smash Brothers is the shit, says little boy. Man, I wasn't sorry I wasn't interacting with you guys as much, dude. Fucking Jalen has a lot to say, and it was interesting. So, oh man, yeah, I agree. Smash Brothers is Smash Brothers has always been a top ranking game.
Yeah, it's so crazy how games, they just evolve because as a kid, you're not really on what's going to come out next. You don't really, as a kid, you don't care about what's coming out or what's coming out next. You just care about what you have. And I know my older brother, who's like 4 years older than me, he just brought Smash Bros. Because he was at the age at least where he knew where he wanted, and he just brought Smash Bros. In on our Nintendo 64, and I'm just like, whoa, because at the time, even at the time, I only knew so many of those characters on that game. I knew who Mario and Luigi were. I
Yeah,
knew who Pikachu was. I knew who Link was. That's literally it. That's all I knew was on that game. I didn't
I
know anybody
remember.
else.
I remember the freaking Smash Brothers commercial for Nintendo 64. It was so great, dude. They had people dressed up in costumes as characters, and they're like
Uh-huh.
holding hands, skipping down a field, and the song is like "So Happy Together," and then while they're skipping in the field, it starts showing gameplay, and then it shows the fucking people in costumes gradually starting getting mad at each other and beating the fuck out of each other.
Yep. Perfect commercial. Perfect commercial. They Yeah, that game is just growing on me. I think that game is the game that made me such a Nintendo fan in the first place. It was just like seeing all these characters who come from these, very constructed different games. You
Yeah,
know, most crossovers because nowadays it's not like that. When you talk about shit like Negan is on Tekken 7, which I love, but it's very weird. Uh,
that's not Negan.
huh?
Negan's a Mortal Kombat. Put him in Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat or some
that's
shit, not
true.
Tekken.
That's true. That I agree with that. He is definitely more a Mortal Kombat character. You want to see him bash somebody's brains in, like literally.
Yeah,
But he's on there.
you want to do the Glenn treatment to motherfuckers, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Mm.
oh man,
Yep.
so you posted a thing here, comparing the best Big Brothers in anime. There's Ace, there's Itachi. I don't know who this dude is with the red sunglasses.
Red sunglasses. Red sunglasses.
I don't.
I'll have to see.
He's got a red cape too, with a sword and blue hair.
Oh, is that a wait? Blue hair. That's where it threw me off. Now I'm not sure. Uh, I would have to go back and see. I would have
And
to go
then
back and see.
there's this other person that's glowing blue with blue eyes.
I
And
gotta go back and see. I probably know who it is, and I just
then it
can't
has
remember.
Edward Elric, and then it has another guy I know. But I think the award for the best Big Brother dude is Fire Fist Ace or Edward Elric, because I think they'd go through the same stakes to help out
See,
little
see,
brother.
this is the thing. This is the thing for me.
Fire Fist Ace literally sacrificed his life to save Luffy's life. So
See, this is where I can beat you on this one, because this is the thing. Even though I do know that's what Ace did, and he is a great brother. I would put top two at Itachi,
I know I saw you put
Edward,
Itachi and Edward.
and the reason why is because just like how you said Ace, sacrificed himself for Luffy. Itachi did also, and he actually sacrificed his entire family just for Sasuke.
That is
He
true.
killed his entire family just so one could live, which is his little brother, and it then at the end straight up sacrificed himself for him at the end, and he even allowed his brother to kill him and let him hate him, so he never had to understand what was going on.
Right.
Uh, that's why he's such a great brother. That's why that was like the saddest moment to me, just because me and my older brother are close. and that was like the saddest moment to me because I never Naruto. I never watched that show episode from episode, but playing the game Ninja Storm, at least Ninja Storm story wise, helped you still know this story anyway. You know, it like cut down so much of the anime into just like a few gaming clips, so you still know the story. And I did that Sasuke versus Itachi fight on the game,
Yeah.
and I understood so much, and I was like, dang, that's a tough one right there.
The little boy says Edward's the best brother. Man, Edward's a good. Edward is our. We have the same runner up for best
Yeah,
brother. Like,
that is true. Because Edward is definitely a good brother, though. Edward is definitely a good brother. I won't lie to that.
especially in brotherhood, like he
Hmm.
literally sacrifices all his knowledge so his brother could get his body back and like return everything back to normal and shit. So then you have Alphonse being like the most badass alchemist out there, and Edward can just be there just as a support buddy.
Hmm. It's so funny how that show is called Full Metal Alchemist, and it's not Edward. You know, he's not the Full Metal Alchemist.
He's only like half metal, if that.
Right.
You know, he's only half metal, if that.
Right. It's just a younger brother that's the Full Metal Alchemist, and he's not even the main character. It's just funny.
Yeah. So here's a funny one. This isn't comic or nerd related, but here's every time I see an R. Kelly post and post be like, well, what about I keep scrolling. Y'all people really want to be a part of something. I can tell. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like everybody know when it comes to stuff like that. I just like express myself like and sometimes I end up being wrong about things. Like I'm never wrong. I'm never mad about admitting when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So I remember how it all started when I just started saying what I want. I was around the Trayvon Martin shooting, and I
I didn't know you
100.
back then.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
100% at the time. I was 100% with the Trayvon Martin thing, and I still am. And then it was all of a sudden people start paying attention to cop killings more, and some killings, just some, I didn't 100% agree with, and not on the black side. And I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, I'm okay with the white cop killing them, and I don't think I'm not saying it wasn't racist, and I'm not saying I'm okay with the death at all whatsoever. I do want the cops to go to shit, stay in prison or whatever.
Right.
But like the one, I think there was the big guy, and the cops choked him out because somebody said he was selling something, so they, that was their
That was
reason
the
to
Eric
call.
Garner one, wasn't it?
I think so,
Yeah.
and they wanted to check him, but he wouldn't comply, and then they ended up holding him down. So at first, because this was me back then, not now. At first, I was like, well, he should have complied. They would have never grabbed on him. So there's certain parts that I still agree with in that statement, but at the same time, like it's like you don't have to grab on somebody who's not even fighting you like that. There was no point to grab him like that to the point where you choking him out, and he kept telling you he couldn't breathe. So that's the part where I admit where I was wrong in my statement. But I was just saying in general, what I was saying was if it was me and I they tried to say I was selling cigarettes and I knew I wasn't, I would have just let them check me. Period. That's just what I would have did. But at the same time, if I said I don't want you to check me, then it's not your job to, choke me to death. So, but still, so on and so forth. I've always been that black sheep on Facebook who said what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And me as a black person, sometimes I'm not always on the black people's side, but it depends. And I feel like things with like this R. Kelly situation, people are just like, oh, they just trying to get our black men and this and that. Well, I'm like, okay, maybe that's true, but if he a pedophile though. Don't put
Right.
him, don't
Yeah.
rope, don't rope him in with good black people who they are just trying to like take down.
That's related to one that I scrolled past because I was like I knew if I did another one that would lead into that where you were just like you were talking about like just like don't act like they're after the black man just because the motherfucker's a pedophile. Like
Yeah, exactly. Like, because it's just like people would change their tone if he was white. You know what I mean? People wouldn't be saying, "Oh, well, what about the parents?" People would straight just be talking about the white dude and be like, "Man, get that man in prison." But as soon as it's black, then they like, "Oh man, I mean he's wrong," but it's like they try to make it seem like it's not that bad.
yeah,
And I get it. I do get it. I do know that they after black people, but some of these you can't just throw every single one in that category.
Because
Just like the
there's also the
Jesse.
shit where they're talking about like, how come they haven't been talking about Woody Allen or Jerry Seinfeld or whatever? Like, dude, they have been. There's nobody's been doing shit about it, but motherfuckers
Yeah.
have been talking about it. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
just because you're just now finding out about it doesn't mean no one's been talking about it. You know, like,
Yeah, exactly. And I know, like just like the thing with that dude, Jussie from that lied about getting beat up by the racist people.
yeah,
They everybody keeps saying this thing like, oh well, this so and so lied about getting robbed in Brazil or whatever country. It was some sports guy lied about getting robbed over there, and they're like, why he ain't going to prison? And I'm like, do y'all not understand that that's like so different? First off, there was not the same scale of where they lied at. Like Jesse made a whole thing about it. He left a noose on around his neck. He paid people to beat him up. It was a political in a way because he said that they had MAGA hats on, and it was like so much to put into it. And he went on news, and
yeah,
had
yeah,
interviews,
great.
etc. He has so much around it. Like one guy just made a statement, like, "Oh yeah, I got robbed." Then people find out you lied. Like, okay, I lied. Like it's not nothing else we gonna do. It wasn't like a bigger thing. Because just like Hillary Clinton, as I recall, Hillary Clinton lied about landing with some soldiers, and then they got shot at when they landed, and that
Yeah,
turned out to be a lie. But it's not like y'all was back then saying, okay, well she should go to prison then, and nobody was saying that at all. Everybody was just like, okay, she got caught in her lie, but that's because it wasn't that serious though. It's not like people was out looking for the people that shot at them. The
yeah,
kid, the person who lied on the person that got lied on the kid saying that he robbed them when they was in a different country. It's not like government went over there looking for the person that robbed you. It's not like it was a search. Like I'm pretty sure a police report was made, and police also looked for the suspects that weren't even real. It's like it's a way bigger thing, but it's just like people keep making certain things about race that shouldn't be.
all right, here's one thing I'm supposed to find out about, man. Like that's what I commented on there, and you liked it. You laugh reacted. Hollywood cashing in on black and gay culture.
Yeah, see that because with that people. Cause like my little sister, who I love to death, who lives right over me in my apartment right now, is gay, and her girlfriend be up there a lot too. Like I have no problem with gay people, it's not at all. It's just that I feel like people don't get that they think Hollywood is trying to oh, they trying to represent us with this gay person or this gay couple in here. Yeah, like no, that's not what they're doing. They know it's what you want to see, so they're
Yeah,
gonna put it in the movie to get more money. That's it. Like that's literally it. And that's what all I be saying to people is that they just cashing in on y'all culture that y'all done fought so hard to get, and y'all just happy because y'all on movies. Now, like
yeah.
for example, every, and I do mean like every, like I would say like 95% of every new show that comes out has a gay person.
I was gonna
Now,
say every show on the CW definitely.
yeah, and I'm not saying that there's an issue with that. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But it is very unrealistic. Like right now, let's say because a zombie apocalypse. Let's say a zombie apocalypse happen right now. I
yeah.
guarantee if I just group up 10 random people, I guarantee none of them are gay. I guarantee it. But on a TV show, they will definitely find a gay person out of those 10 people because somebody got to be gay for
No,
real.
you'll have to find at least two or one
Yeah,
bisexual.
yeah,
So
exactly. Somebody got to be bisexual. That even goes to shows that I love, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and the character on there that did turn out to be bisexual, and she wasn't bisexual at all before. She Rosa. I love her character. I have no
yeah,
problem with her character, and it was character development in a way. But it just so happens that they made somebody bisexual. Now the whole thing is they already had a gay character on there anyway, and I like the gay character. I like the idea with that gay character.
oh,
But
he is he. I have a lot of gay friends. I like I'm with it with the gay community and shit. So
uh-huh.
like, the gay community love fucking Holt, dude. Like they think
Yeah, Captain Holt is like the best character on that show. 100%, man. I love Captain Holt. Like I hope they never get rid. They cannot get rid of him. If they get rid of him, they go ruin the show. You can't.
absolutely.
You can't get rid of Captain Hulk, man. I love
Every time
Captain
they
Hulk.
tease him leaving the show, like or him getting transferred and shit, and I'm like, nope, don't do it, don't do it.
You don't want to do that, Andy Samberg, because Andy Samberg is one of my favorite people. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get rid of Captain Hulk, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Andy
yeah,
Samberg
but
can't hold the show. Him and Boyle, they can't hold the show on their own, man. Like,
no, not at all. But yeah, but I digress. What I was saying, yeah, it's just they cashing in, and it even goes with what was it? What show am I thinking of? Is it a show or a movie? Oh, it's a movie. I haven't seen it yet. I do want to see it, but it's that movie Green Book. Have you heard of it?
no, I haven't.
So Green Book is based on a true story where it was a singer or a musician, not a singer, a musician who was being like driven around and had like a bodyguard of a white man, and the white man was racist. And they bonded over time. He still was pretty racist, as I recall, but they bonded over time. Um, but it's this new thing that people are talking about, not necessarily new, but just starting to be more of a thing now, which is called the white savior. The white savior is pretty much when a old movie that is based off a true story uses a white character who sometimes isn't even in the movie to try to become like a big part of this movie that's supposed to be about a black person. And that even goes with that movie that happened. I haven't seen it yet. Um, about the NASA females, the three black women that helped with the rocket launch. It was like some white dude that was there helping them out who wasn't racist, and you find out that he's not even a real character. He's not even a real person. They just put him in a movie just to put him in a movie.
Oh wow.
And they do that in movies where it's like this white person who's just like, oh, I'm not racist and this and that, and I understand racism, and and these characters aren't even real, and they take away from what the movie.
But
That's just like The Blind Side. The Blind Side. I don't know if you've seen that one with Sandra
uh-uh.
Bullock. Sandra Bullock. Now, this is also a true story where she raised a black kid who just had a messed up life at first, and she just brought him to she was a rich woman, brought him to this great fancy house, and she helped him learn how to play football. Then when people talked to the actual football player, he was like, first off, they made me seem like I was dumb in the movie, which they did. They made him seem like he was dumb. And they made it seem like they had to teach him how to play football. He also said that wasn't even true. He like, I knew how to play football. And
don't
that's
they
that
talk to these people? Like, don't they try to get like like real life perspective? Like before.
yeah, they do, but it still turns to the writers. You know what I mean? They get the real. They ask people like, "Oh, did this happen? How did this happen?" And they'll get that, and then they'll just change it the way they want to,
Right.
which is the white savior thing, which they talk about all the time, and that's the new thing people are going through. First, it was like you're not giving black people enough movies. Are you doing the whitewashing? But now it's just making up stuff for the white actor.
My
That's the
buddy
new
and
thing.
Wildman, were talking today, and he was like, we were for some reason Robert Downey Jr. fucking blackface and Tropic Thunder came up,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and he was wondering, he's like, how come like, why did they even think about doing that? Like, why was it even a thing? Like, I was like, dude, like, I'm friends with a lot of black people, and I talked to a lot of my friends about that, and apparently, dude, it's like everybody loved it, dude. It was fine, dude. Like
yeah,
cared.
yeah. It was fine, and the reason why it was fine was because it wasn't over the top. It wasn't saying, "Oh, this is what black people do," or "This is how black people act." It wasn't a whole bunch of hand gestures or associating black things with like negative things or it was
Yeah,
just like it was purely just comedy based. It was
yeah.
just funny,
It's like
and
the same.
it wasn't Robert Downey Jr. playing blackface. It was Robert Downey Jr.'s character doing blackface. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
and they did the same thing in Always Sunny when Mac when they
oh
were
yeah,
Lethal Weapon
Lethal
five
Weapon.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
that scene was hilarious.
See, and I was talking to my buddy. I was like, dude, I talked to so many people about this, dude, and it's all about just context, dude, and context matters. Like, because even when Mac was doing it in Always Sunny, all the rest of the cast or the characters were like, dude, this is fucked up. Why are you doing this? And he's all like, dude,
Yeah.
we gotta do an accurate portrayal. Whatever.
Yep. See, the funny thing is, I know this one guy I worked with named Kyle, like 2 years ago, chef for the Detroit Lions. He did blackface at a Halloween party. I think he did Bill Cosby. Now it wasn't like I was there to see it to say anything, but they said because it wasn't like it was just him. There was a few people that went there. The funny thing was he said when he did the blackface, he didn't really understand what blackface was. He actually didn't know, and he said all the white people that came in was telling him like, "Hey man, that's not cool what you're doing. Like people like black people will find that very offensive."
Yeah.
And he said all of the black people that came in found it hilarious, but literally only the white people found it offensive, which was funny to me.
I've come across a lot of situations like that where like I don't know, I've brought uh like unexpected people to my friends' houses or whatever, and then how I interact with them opposed to like how I interact with just my white friends or whatever is completely different. Because
Mm-hmm.
like when I'm around certain groups, dude, I got an end card and all this shit, dude. Like I'm not gonna use it with you because we don't know each other like that. But
Mm-hmm.
like, and so like when I interact with them, they're like, dude, you transformed to a whole different person. I'm like, no, I'm still the same person, but like when I'm like when in Rome, dude, you do as the Romans do, and I like and you got to sort of like learn how to speak the same language and like do that shit. And but I don't know. Here's a funny one you did, man. Detroit beats always sound like a fat dude made them.
Yeah, they do. Like I don't like what like in Detroit we have a very typical rap style. Very very typical, very basic. They rap about the same shit
Yeah,
over and over again, and it's always just like this
I'm
really
just on the other
basic.
side of the lake from you, and it's crazy how different we are.
Yeah, it's just like this. It's like this real basic ass beat that is always got the same sound. And it's funny because years ago I thought I hated the Detroit rap style.
Yeah,
And I thought I hated it. Then I heard this song that's very, very good. I actually like it a lot called Paramedics. And it's some dude featuring Kendrick Lamar. It was on the Black Panther soundtrack for the movie. And the dude, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's from California, but whoever is rapping on that song is literally just using the Detroit rap style. I don't know who he is or where he's from or how he heard it, but he's using the Detroit rap style.
yeah.
But hold on one. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. But the beat sounds good, and maybe that's why I like it, and maybe that's why I don't think it's trash because the beat actually sounds good. But when I just listen to Detroit rap, same rap style, same beat, it's just like, come on, man. It's just like literally you could just freestyle it out of nowhere with how terrible it is. Like they'll be like
Are you
move
able
the
to give
whole
an example?
huh.
Are you able to give an example of just
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm going to give you an example right now. This is
all
my
right,
favorite
sweet.
example. This is my favorite example because I've made this example before. This example right here is what so many Detroit rappers say. They always tell you to ask somebody, did they do this thing that you don't know if they done it, and then they tell you to ask somebody that you don't even know. So they'll be like, yeah, I moved the whole pound, nigga, last week. Yeah, then I moved the whole key. Ask my nigga Meech. You be like, who is Meech? I don't know who Meech is. I don't want to ask him what. I don't want to ask what Meech did. All right,
Right.
it's just like
That's
you know
just
what I mean.
incriminating.
Yeah, and that's just like what I just rapped, how it sounded like like that's pretty much how all of them sound. Literally every single Detroit rap style, and
Did you ever hear
it's so
that?
tiring.
Did you ever hear that MF Doom song, "Rap Snitch Niches"?
I don't think so.
It's a good song, dude. It's featuring Mr. Fantastic. It's just talking about how rap dudes need to stop telling all their business. They're just like
They
incriminating
do tell
themselves. All
themselves.
this
Yeah,
fucking shit, dude. It's a really good song.
I don't think they understand that so many people are going to jail now because of all the snitching that's like coming up. Uh, it's just funny. Like people are really like they finally going to prison because of the stuff you talking about on your song now. Like you'll say like I know that one dude who's literally going to prison right now. Uh, I can't remember his name. It's like why something Melly. I think he going to jail because he like so like he killed some of his friends or something like that. That's what the
Oh
dude was
wow.
saying, and he made a song pretty much about it though. That's the thing, and the song sounds pretty damn good. It's like his testimony,
I
but
mean,
you know,
Bushwick Bill made a song about fucking like how he lost his eye and fucking killing his pregnant girlfriend and shit like that. And
ooh,
and the Ghetto Boys were one of the biggest hits in like the early '90s and late '80s and shit.
oh man, yeah, people had their testimonies. Like I used to be a rapper. Like I used to be a rapper. My girlfriend is trying to get me back to rapping.
I used to rap. I used to go to ciphers and shit. I've never done anything like on stage, but I've recorded a couple songs. I used to rap though too.
Mm, yep, it's all about rapping. Is just it's fun. It's freeing.
I just do comedy now, man. It's way better, dude. There's way more I just do comedy now.
Yeah, see me, I the only reason I stopped rapping was obviously because I started writing comic books, and I found that just it was just better than me. But
Yeah.
my girlfriend, when we first started dating, I I taught her how to rap. That's pretty much how we got together, and now she really loves rapping. She really loves doing it now, and she's trying to get back into it, and she wants me to get back into it also.
Hey, if you're good at it, it's fucking fun, dude. Why not?
Yeah, no, I am actually good. That's the one thing I can brag about is my rapping skills. My rapping skills are like really good. I love my metaphors and my wordplay. I just like I said, I just stopped because I just kind of got bored with it. That's all.
Yeah. So here's a good one. This one had a video that was linked to it. It says, I feel like every time some racist shit happens, people act surprised.
Yeah, because they people just keep doing it. Like they just keep acting like racism is gone. And then as soon as some racist stuff happens, they be like, I cannot believe he just said that to him, or this is how y'all really think of us, stuff like that. And I'd be like, okay, we know there are racist white people out there. So if you know this, stop saying things like, see, this is what they really think of us. Like, no, this is what racist white people think of us. And you know this. You like fucking know this. Stop acting like you don't know this.
How do you feel about people saying that only white people can be racist?
I agree with it to a point. This is the thing. It's 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 a different perspective of racism.
Yeah,
It's white people can only be racist on a systematic view. Like
yeah,
anybody can say, "Well, I think my race is better," and technically, that is racism. But black people can say it, and it's not like it's going to change anything. It's not going to change the world, what I mean, or anything like that. Like so. This is the whole thing on racism. Racism is something that we still live through today because of suburbs. Suburbs are, in my eyes, like the
they had a good movie about the basis of suburbs. It was a Matt Damon movie, and then they had the black neighbors, and then like Matt Damon went crazy or and like ended up like poisoning his wife or some like I don't know, it was
oh wow.
crazy. But it was like it was the first black family moved into this suburban neighborhood, and suburbs were designed to move white people out of black neighborhoods.
Hmm.
You know, like uh,
Yeah,
uh,
no, that's why I feel like that's why I feel like suburbs are like like the basis of racism because suburbs were made for white people. Like, of course, you may go to a suburb and see a black person there, but
yeah,
what I mean, they had to work very hard to get there, or at least their family, or they had to work very hard to get there.
yeah.
White people, it was literally made for them. They literally gave loans and etc. to white families to build, in these communities, and then those communities got bigger and better jobs, better schools, and then if you make more money now, you can get a bigger loan, and it just kept going like that until that money was just yours, and then black people, they didn't give them anything really, and you have poor schools, poor homes, and it's hard to build off of nothing with nothing, you know what I mean? So uh that's why the suburbs are that, and that's what people don't understand about systematic racism. People will say things like, "Oh, well, I worked hard, to get this degree," or blah blah blah. Yeah, I guarantee that you did work hard, but you still had a head start.
You
You know what I
had
mean?
you had
People,
a, you had a slight advantage,
yeah, you
absolutely.
had a slight
Yeah.
advantage, and people, they don't want to admit that you still had a slight advantage. You know what
One
I
of my
mean? It's,
one of my best friends, dude, is like, I don't know, he's blind or something, dude. He's like never once in he grew up, dude, poor and all this whatever bullshit we both did, dude. Like it's one of the reasons why we're like hung out together and stuff.
mm-hmm.
Like, and he's not like, never once in my life have I benefited from white privilege. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, some people just don't want to get it. They just don't want to get it. Like my girlfriend, she understands that she has white privilege, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean. But she's not blind to it. That's why it's understandable. Like as long as you're not blind to it, people can't get mad at you. You know.
Dude, no, the motherfucker got pulled over with no license, and he had cause he was buying a bunch of weed from me at the time, and he had like every single flavor that I had, like ever, all bagged up separately. And then he had so he had like over an ounce there, and then he had like over an ounce of roaches in his glove box.
Oh
And this
man.
motherfucker just like got some probation and shit, dude. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. If he don't see that, then he a blind guy.
oh, dude, Laxus on the live chat wants me to rap a little bit.
Oh, they want you to rap? Okay.
All right, so this is an old one, but let's do it. All right. I'm more insane than the Cypress Hill gang since I lack the membranes that make me feel pain, and I'd like to throw Herman Cain through a hurricane. I don't need to explain how I'm more than deranged because I leave blood stains all over the curtains. I drop kick midgets because it's easy as hell. I only like hoes if they're sleazy or smell. I never rock a beat with Wheezy as well. It's not that I hate him, it's just I'll never be famous since I spend all my time at the mall looking for anus.
I like that. I see your style. I like that.
I used to rap under the name Funny Bone because I would tell all my buddies that I was original Bone Thug member.
Funny bone. I like that's funny. That's funny. It's actually fucking funny, and I like that. Funny bone. Yeah, my girlfriend, her name is Low Kane. I like my girlfriend's name is Low Kane. It's because she like fucking crazy at times, and she's white. You know what I mean? Like cocaine, Low Kane.
Yeah, I used to say like, yeah, when I was like 10 years old, I used to ghostwrite for Bone Thugs, and they kicked me out. And it was like I just keep up my day.
Me, I can't even remember like the last thing I wrote. I like, yeah, I can't remember the last thing I wrote.
For a while, I was doing some really intense. I was doing some really intense spoken word poetry. Like
Mm.
at these open mics, it was cool. It was fun, and I told my comedian friends about it. Like, yeah, I used to do spoken word there, and they're like, ah, fag.
They don't understand.
You fag. Oh, dude, and I have this awesome story I was gonna tell when we were talking about gay stuff. So one day I was at the bar. It was one of my favorite bars to hang out with at the time, and for some reason there was just a lot of gay people there that night,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought nothing of it. I was like, I don't know, maybe there's something going on, like a birthday or something. I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so then I'm sitting at the bar, I'm ordering a drink, and then this dude is right next to me, and I see him waving across the room to another dude, and I'm just like playfully like, oh, is that your boyfriend? This dude got mad as fuck. He's like, what, motherfucker? You think I'm gay? What? I was all like, I'm looking around at the crowd. I'm all like, dude, like 80% of the people here are gay. You know?
Right.
He's like, this motherfucker
Man.
thinks I'm gay, dude. Fuck. So he's gonna get ready to fucking fight me. But then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, like fucking like a smoke bomb, like all of a sudden I'm surrounded by like 5, 6 fucking rainbow warriors, dude, and they're like, don't worry, honey, dude, we'll take care of this. Fucking take the dude outside, beat the fuck out of him.
Oh
You
man.
know.
Man. Man. They had your back for real.
I was like, damn, dude, like, like blew me a kiss and shit. I was like, dude, I love these guys, man.
Right. Awesome people.
Oh yeah, yeah. I told you guys about it in the one of our chats or whatever. But man, dude, yeah, yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know, man. Like, I've never had a problem with the gay community, man. They're always good people to me, man. So I don't get why people hate them. Never
Yeah.
in my life I never got why people would hate them.
Some people just, I don't know. Some people just are. Some people, it could be a religious thing. But this
Just
is the
like,
thing. But
just
the thing with me is, I do believe in God. I'm a person that believes in God. I,
okay,
however, do not believe in the Bible.
right?
And some people don't
Makes
understand it because they be like, "Oh, well, God, that came from the Bible in the first place." I'll be like, "Well,
no,
yeah,
it came
to a
from
point.
man,
Yeah, it's like to a point. I get what they saying, but it's like no. After a while, it becomes me as an adult. Like it's a lot of people that are raised religious, and then they get older and they believe that there's not enough evidence to believe in a God, so that's their decision. Me, I was raised religious in a way, and then I got old enough and I was like, humans can lie, so why the hell would I read like believe this book? I
right?
just look up at the sun and the sky and human emotion and how things just so happen to just be just right, a certain way, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, somebody had to create this. Like, because even if you sit there and say, okay, science made this, science made that, the earth
Yeah.
came from the Big Bang, blah, blah. But what made that? You know what I'm saying? Like, but what made everything you saying made us?
Are you
Like,
familiar at all with synchronicity?
not I think so. No.
Synchronicity, Carl Jung talks a lot about it, but I found out about it by reading these books called the Celestine Prophecy. It's a fiction book series written by James Redfield,
Mm-hmm.
and basically, in a sense, it's an energy that basically links every human mind together, like the internet and shit. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, it links our subconscious together. So, like, let's say you're thinking of somebody that you haven't seen in years or whatever, and then they just happen to call you on the phone or whatever, some shit like
Oh,
that.
right.
And
Yeah.
or you happen to bump into them at the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
or someone that looks exactly like them, or like or you bump into someone that looks exactly like a friend that you haven't seen in years, and then you happen to run into that friend somewhere, like, or it's shit like that, or like uh there's deeper levels to it, but that's just it in like an eggshell. And
Mm-hmm.
so like I'm like a full believer of like how that it's just like making sense of all the coincidences that happen in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is true. That's definitely true. But yeah, people just I don't have a problem with atheists in any type of way. Only thing I hate is when you try to be like, oh, well, you believe in God. Well, what evidence is God? Like, am I asking you why are you an atheist? No, I'm not trying to convert you from being an atheist. I just believe in God. Your choice is your choice. If
Fundamentalists on either side are just problematic. Like fundamentalist atheists are like the ones who try to push the whatever, and then there's the same people on religious sides where they try to push their shit on you.
there
Yeah.
are some religious people like that try to
Like I'm
just
not
push the
religious at all, but like we've been getting along great. We're not trying to push it on each other. We're
yeah,
fine.
exactly. And then it's exactly true. And then then I tell people like it's like a win-win with me. The reason why is because this is the thing. If, and this is what I tell people all the time, especially atheists that try to convert me,
Yeah.
if I pass away, I mean, well, not if I'm going to pass away, when I pass away, if there is not a God, if God isn't real, if heaven doesn't exist, will I be mad? No, because I'm just gonna be dead. I'm gonna be dead. There's gonna be no thoughts. There's gonna be nothing. I'm not gonna have any feelings about it. I'm not gonna care in any type of way because there's gonna be no emotion there. So I might as well just continue with what I believe. And if I pass away and there's no God, then that's the end of the story.
The Patrice O'Neill has a good bit. It's I'm gonna probably ruin it, but he's talking about religion, or whatever. He's like, if I go to hell because I'm a sinner, I'm okay with that. But if I go to hell just because I chose the wrong religion or faith or whatever, like, that's a fucking bunch of bullshit, dude.
That is some messed up stuff. There's so many different religions that tell you the same thing,
Yeah,
and that's exactly why, like I said, I just don't believe in the Bible because it's just like who knows what religion was written first? Another religion could have been copied. You know what
if
I
the
mean?
story of Horus is the same as Jesus Christ, is the same as Muhammad, is the
Yeah, then this is when you know it's messed up because people also they put their own beliefs on what the Bible's meanings are and stuff like that. And then like people will be like, yeah, it's God, the Holy Ghost, and Jesus. They all like one and the same. And I'm like, well, if they all one and the same, why in the Bible did Jesus say, "Do not praise me, praise my Father"? So that means
to me that sounds like an incest spiritual three-way.
yeah, exactly. Like why would one of them be all the same? Like, no, it doesn't make any sense. And if you so-called believe in the Bible, then you should also not be praising God. I mean Jesus, you should be praising God if that's the case. So yeah, people just don't make sense with stuff. So I just leave it alone and I try not to, I try not to go into religious debates at all because people just they try to push more and more on you. Because as soon as so many people, when I tell them I don't believe in the Bible, I just believe in God, then they be like, "Well, that doesn't even make any sense." And they try to go more and more into it. I'm like, "See, that's what I'm talking about." It's like I crush their whole argument with my belief of not believing
Right.
in the Bible. Because so many atheists they try to go off in the Bible like, "Well, if the Bible said this, then blah blah." Well, I don't believe in the Bible, so you can't argue with that. So they get mad that they can't argue with their favorite thing to argue with.
Fucking love it.
Yeah, so it is what it is. You know what I mean? Your religion is your religion. Your belief is your belief. I have no issues with anybody. I think the only person I probably couldn't get cool with is probably a devil worshiper. That'd probably be like the only one because even if the devil isn't real, it's just weird. Like I feel like you might kill me in my sleep or some shit. I'm like, oh, it was all for the devil, man.
So people seriously pronounce your name Jalen?
Some people, yes, they will say Jalen because people are used to saying Jalen with a Jay. And it's
Okay.
just like, but still, like, who's gonna name their child Jalen? No one's gonna do that. I know one of my friends, his older sister calls me Jalen, but just as a joke though. But yeah, like for the people that do call me Jalen, they they be like, well, where's the Y if it's Jalen? I'm like, it doesn't need to be a Y there.
I was gonna jokingly introduce you as Jalen
That
just because.
would have been hilarious. That would have been hilarious.
uh, um, here's one. Here's one. You ever kill someone in a battle royale game and wonder, damn, if I wasn't playing, I wonder how far they would have gotten.
I do it all the time. I literally do it all the time. It's like I wonder. It's like I wonder who will win. Like literally that match I told you a second ago where I said I shot those two girls. When I shot
Yeah,
those two girls with whoever was playing, they were shooting at each other. And if I didn't shoot both of them, I wonder who would have won that shootout that
you
they were
should have
having.
just sat there and watched.
I was going to, but the whole thing was I kind of got into it. So I had this armor on. I had the armor on, and when I had the armor on, one of the women shot me, and it took my armor away. So I'm like, okay, I gotta end this fight before I get shot again and die. So I just shot both of them. But usually I do just just watching myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted that all the time. Every time I kill somebody on battle royales, I would be like, man, I'd be like, I killed you at the start of the match. What if you were the person that were going to win this match after, what if you were? But because I killed you, we'll never know.
How different does the carbonation hit you from a can opposed to a bottle?
Yeah, it's like everybody is doing that joke with the it hits you different when so and so happened. Like people will be
I haven't
like,
seen
man,
that. I actually haven't seen those.
so I don't know if it's like I hope it's not a Detroit thing or something like that, but it's like people be like, Yeah, that.
Laxus says you have a cool name. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, thank you. Lax,
Laxus.
Lax, what? Laxus. Okay, well, thank you. Uh, so yeah, it's like this joke where uh people are saying things like them taxes hit different when you actually got a job. Just saying like it's better when you actually working.
Yeah.
And I was saying that carbonation hit different when you drink it from a can. When you drink a carbonated drink from a can, that stuff is so strong compared to a bottle. So that's what I was saying with that one.
I don't really drink many carbonated drinks at all, except
Yeah,
for beer, and I don't
I
drink
stopped
beer out of a can.
I stopped drinking pop.
Yeah.
But I do, however, drink ginger ale, which is like in a way a pop, but not really. You know, what I mean, everybody knows what an ale is, and it's just ginger. It's technically different, but if I'm thirsty, I may take a partake in a clear pop like a Sierra Mist or a Sprite. But I have to be very
I'll do
thirsty. It
that
has to
too
be
because they're
around.
caffeine free. I don't like caffeine at all, so I'll
Yeah,
drink those every once in a while.
yeah, but yeah, I cut off
It's
pop.
usually a fountain. It's usually a fountain, so I'm drinking it out of the cup.
Yep,
And those have, to me, those probably had the strongest carbonation. The fountain
yep.
drink.
Yeah, I cut off pop myself. It helped me lose weight, but I slowly have been gaining weight back again. I noticed that me and my girlfriend were doing like so good in the gym, and then we stopped for a while. And
You're probably one of those people that looks like a little bit better, like a slightly chubby.
yeah, no, that's exactly what I am. And she loves my silliness. And I don't know if you've seen my girlfriend on Facebook, but
I've seen her a couple times. You post
yeah,
pictures.
yeah, she like loves my chubbiness, and she always tells me I'm like at the perfect size. But I just wanted because the whole thing is, if you went to my Facebook, you would see that I used to be very, very skinny, like very skinny.
There was that one thing you posted where you like went through like years of your life, whatever. You're like, I used to be kind
Uh,
of skinny, kind of buff, kind of fat.
yeah, yeah. I went through every. So far I went through every phase. I went through the skinny phase. Then I got like really buff when I was like in 12th grade, and then
That's when everybody gets really buff, though. That's when I got in shape, dude. Like that's when like me and my buddies we started. My last name really is Wiener, so we started Wiener's Workout Central. We'd all work out at my house on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or no, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'd go for like a 4 mile jog. And like
mm-hmm.
we were really getting in it, dude. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like. I was surprised actually because me and my girlfriend went to the gym last night, and we couldn't stay long um because it was closing down by the time we got there. We had like 40 minutes to work out, and I stayed on the treadmill for almost 20 minutes. Now,
yeah,
the reason why that was great was because when I first started going back to the gym, which was like 2.5 years ago, I uh I was going there by myself because I had a car at the time because my car broke down. I had a car at the time. I was going there by myself, and I was hitting the treadmill. The first time I got on that treadmill, after never being on a treadmill, when I stepped off, it felt like I just came off a roller coaster. I felt sick. My legs felt like I couldn't walk on them. I was like, "This is insane." And I think I was only on that treadmill for like 7 minutes, man. And then I start by the end of my working out era, where I did lose a lot of weight. I I could stay on the treadmill for like 30 minutes, barely breaking a sweat. And I never really did the running on the treadmill. The running on the treadmill wasn't really me, but I would take the incline all the way up and take it to probably like 40 miles per hour and just power walk with a high incline. And it helped out. It helped me lose weight. So that's what I'm about to get back to doing.
nice. I'm with it.
I gotta hop back on my Switch so this Wildlands game can download faster.
Yeah, I just switched to. I stopped playing Chrono because I only play one chapter at a time, and usually my Let's Plays don't go on this long. So now I just switched to Super Mario World.
It's so funny. I can never get with the old Mario games. Seem like you know what you doing though. Like that stuff with when y'all grab the shells, it's just like I'll be like, man, how do they do it? Like I can grab a shell, but I just can't do it fast. Like I'll be standing there still, just pick up a shell. like any new Mario game, I'm good at it though. It's just like the old, like people don't realize older games were harder. And I went back and tried to play some older games that I used to beat so easily, and then I was like, how the fuck was I like 4 years
I haven't
old
played
beating
this
this
game in
shit,
years,
man?
and like I'm still trying to get used to these controls. Like as you see,
Yeah.
I'm still in the very beginning of this game. I just got Yoshi for the first time.
What is the one game? I'm trying to think of this one game that's actually pretty damn tough. Let me see. Oh, 'cause I know everybody talks about the Ninja Turtle games. They said that the Ninja Turtle games were really fucking hard,
They
and I
were,
will
they were,
say,
they were some of the hardest games ever.
but this is the funny thing. When me and my brother were younger, we used to beat those games no problem.
The original
And
one,
then,
the one for regular Nintendo, where you had to like you got to play was one turtle at a time. And oh, dude, that one was hard as fuck.
see, I well, which one was it? I can't remember which one me and my brother played. We used to play the one where Shredder stole the Lady Liberty.
Oh, that one was a beat 'em up. That one was easy. There was a
Okay,
side
yeah.
scroller one that was hard as fuck.
Okay, so I need to play the one that y'all talking about then.
Yeah, that one beat 'em up like that's like Streets of Rage style kind of whatever.
Okay, so
That
that
one
one is what was hard. See, I know I played Mortal Kombat. I mean, I said Mortal Kombat. Ninja Turtles X Double Dragons. Fun game. That one was an actual fun. The funny thing is, I think Double Dragons was the. They need to. I think they are bringing that game back, aren't they?
what Double Dragon?
Yeah, I
They're
think
bringing
they are.
Battletoads is getting a new game.
Yeah, they are. So you know what? If they bring both those games back, they might as well just make another game where they all team up again.
Oh
But I
man,
but I digress. I think Double Dragons was the first game that just straight, had you fight your partner at the end of the game, which was mind blowing.
I haven't even gotten far enough to get the cape yet. Ugh. Man, what was I? Hold on, I think I had something I was gonna. Oh, why was Trico too cool to evolve as a kid?
I mean, he just so Trico was cool because of Ash, pretty much.
Who's your
The
favorite?
Trico, the
After this,
Trico
who's your
on.
favorite villain in the Pokemon anime? After this, Trico.
Hmm. I guess it would probably have to be when they did that Pokemon Ranger stuff.
I'm a
I
big
think
fan
it's.
of Paul.
Oh, you talk about more so rival. Well, if you talk about rival, then yeah, I agree. Paul Gary was annoying as hell.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you go back and stuff, and you just be like, "Oh man, look at how cool Gary is." Like, no,
Gary
no,
was never cool.
he was never cool at all.
I think he was made purposely to be annoying.
Yeah, he was fucking terrible.
Oh, nice. Ah, what the fuck? I like how the fire turns them into coins in this game. We just use a straight
Oh crap.
today.
See, yeah, I would say if you could play Mario like that, I would say definitely get a Switch just because they're coming with that new Mario Maker again.
Mario Maker's coming back. That game's impossible, dude. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's a Mario Maker 2 that's coming.
god damn. The first one, motherfuckers are still trying to master. This game isn't as slippery. Like if you go back and try to play like Mario One, that game is super slippery with the controls. This one they kind of toned it down a little bit.
Yeah, nah, it is really slippery when you go back and look at it. I know the one. See, 2 is the one Mario I could never get with. Not at all. I just couldn't get with it.
I like Mario 2. That was one of my favorites. I knew where all the warps were, dude. I like fighting the bosses. That one was really fun.
I just couldn't get with it. I just was so used to just jumping on heads and they died. Now I gotta jump on their head and then grab them. I was like, oh my god.
You
I
guys
was
grab
like,
them and throw them at each other. Yeah,
I was like, oh my goodness, this is too much work now.
I could see it being something to get used to for sure.
Yeah, but yeah. See, talking about old games, it just makes me want Sonic to get back to his old self because Sonic used to be such a great character.
Do you
I mean,
have
he's
any?
still a great
What,
character.
what
He just got a bad
what are
story.
your hopes for this Sonic movie coming out?
Oh, I have no hopes for the Sonic movie at all. It's like I could be proven wrong because I was proven wrong with Detective Pikachu.
Detective
Because the whole
Pikachu
thing
is
is,
amazing.
I hated the game. I did not like the game. I didn't like the idea of the game.
I
I
didn't even know it
never.
was a game until like uh maybe about like a week ago.
Yeah, yeah. I hated the game, but it was just not for me. It was just not for me. I almost just died. That's why I got quiet. But it was not for me, and I was like, And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, they're making a Pokemon movie, and then
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, with Detective Pikachu. I'm like, oh, the one thing that I hate is what y'all gonna make a movie about. Cool, and they blew my fucking mind. So I'm just like, okay.
Yeah,
So
they
it
got the
just looks
kid
so
from
good.
Jurassic World. They got the fucking kid. What else? He was in. What's that? That what was that Netflix show, dude? Where they had Grandmaster Flash in it and shit.
Wait, Grandmaster Flash. I don't know.
It was like called the Get Back or some shit.
Huh.
It wasn't the real Grandmaster Flash. He had a dude playing Grandmaster Flash, and he was teaching
Huh.
his kid. He was teaching his kid how to spin.
Hmm. I gotta see this.
It was supposed to have a second season. I had a really good budget. Ooh, I get the cape finally. All right, wah wah wah. I can just fly through all these levels.
Oh, now fighting the Kirby guy over here, who's not no bitch. So, have you played Persona 5?
Nope.
Hmm. Yeah. See, it's like that
You're,
is a game
you're
I
gonna
think you
call
would
me a
love.
bitch for not even knowing what the fuck that is.
No, man, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. See, I mean, I didn't know what it was until they announced the main character for Super Smash Brothers. After they did that, I was like, okay. See, I've played pretty much every game that the characters from Super Smash Brothers have come from. So I was like, okay, well, let me at least see, what this game is about. And I remember one of my friends telling me how good it was, so I got it and I fell in love. This is the bullshit though. The bullshit is I literally couldn't beat the game. Like when I say I couldn't beat the game, I'm not saying it was so hard I couldn't beat it because I got to the last boss.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is uh I messed up on some stuff, not completing certain things at the last boss. I mean before the last boss, and now it's just like too hard to like it was impossible to beat because SP is your magic, and I had none of that. And going to going to the last fight with no magic, which is the main way you're going to win, is not going to come out good.
Yeah, you don't want to run out of any magic power if that's what you're kind of relying on.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever seen the anime Record of Lodoss War?
Nope, I have not seen this one.
It's kind of older. It's basically like Japanese Lord of the Rings, dude. It's fucking awesome.
Mm,
Like the main character is this human, Parn, and then like he ends up tag teaming with this elf girl, Deedlit, and a lot of people actually ship them as like the fucking one of the cutest anime couples.
mm.
and I kind of do as well. And there's a game for him on the Dreamcast. It's called Record of Lodoss War, but you don't play as Parn or Deedlit. You get them as side characters later on. And there's a dwarf dude named Gimli. There's I don't know. It's just like a super cool fucking game or anime plus game. The game came out on Dreamcast. Fucking
See, one of the best Dreamcast games are Power Stone and Spawn. Spawn had
Power
one.
Stone was fantastic, dude. That was
Power
arcade.
Stone
That
was
was an arcade port first,
yeah, exactly. Power Stone was fucking fantastic. And
just
then
like
they made
Crazy
Power Stone.
Taxi.
Yeah, exactly. But they could Sega. That's why I'm saying I want Sega to make a comeback because Sega has so many games, not just Sonic, that they could do so much with, and they just aren't because they trying to cash in all on Sonic, and that's not going good.
Not going well.
Yeah, exactly.
Little boy, you just keep on saying trash, but you're not saying what's trash. Come on, man. Program.
Kids, man, kids. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, Sega could just do so much. They got a lot of characters. They got their Golden Axe series, the Streets of Rage, and then the whole thing about Streets of Rage
Bring back
is they
ActRaiser. Bring back fucking who was that one dude back in Genesis? He was like an opossum or something. He was like a ninja opossum.
it sounds familiar. It sounds very fucking familiar.
Bring back that shit, dude. Just bring back some good fucking classic platform shit, dude. Like
Yeah, and Sonic,
Sega
Sonic,
did best.
they need to come back with Sonic in a big way. They need to like straight up put like cash it all in on graphics, cash it all in on story and on gameplay. Like you know, they just need to
Yeah.
cash it in because like that's why I made that one post where I said that's why I made that one post when I said that they need to just sell it to Nintendo because even though Nintendo isn't the greatest game company alive, I mean it is to me, but even though it's not the greatest game, even though it's not the greatest game company alive, they um they at least like their characters that they know are big, they do a lot with them. You know, they do like look at Link. That nigga, he got a whole open world game, something that nobody thought that was coming anytime soon. Even though his the open world game wasn't the greatest, but it was a big step, and that's the most important part.
Right. Oh man, where the fuck do I go? I'm gonna just go through this door again.
So yeah, the old Mario,
There we
they
go.
had secret rooms and everything. I didn't know anything about this.
That's how I gotta go to beat it. There we go. Oh damn, I didn't have to fight a ghost. Nice. Nice. I didn't have to even fight a bitch ass ghost. That was sweet. I get to save it. I need to go in this level with a cape because then I can get the secret level. I need to go back here and get a cape. I like how like after you beat a level, you just like go back, get some items, and then start select, and if I can just dip. What the fuck? All right.
Yeah, this new Smash Bros is a game you'll love. Like 75 characters are going to be in this game in the end.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I thought it was more than that. To be honest,
It was 70. Then they released Piranha Plant as a bonus character that nobody wanted.
nobody wanted. Like, I've seen so
No,
many sarcastic reviews of like Piranha Plant. Like, what the fuck?
nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted that. This is my issue with Piranha Plant. It's not that he's a fucking plant. I know that Sakurai stated he thinks the games lose interest when you just use all these main characters, and I get that. But what I don't get is why Piranha Plant. I know he said it's a character that everyone knows from the Mario. Like there's a ton of characters that everyone knows from Mario. I would rather have a fucking Koopa than a plant. You know, it's a plant. Like what about the wizard that works for Bowser? That would have been a way better idea. The little wizard from Bowser, that would have been crazy. King Boo, the ghost, another great idea. If you want
I
to use
love the
like
little
regular
blue
enemies.
wizard, dude. The little blue wizard is fucking goat, dude. Like,
Yeah, like come on, a plant. Come on, like I mean, beggars can't be choosers because Smash Bros is like my favorite game. But
I kicked a girl out of my house for being a choosy beggar once.
you said what?
I kicked a girl out of my house for being a choosy beggar once. She like it was my girlfriend too. Like at the time, she was all like, "Hey, I'm hungry, dude. Do you got anything like a bag of chips or anything?" So I hand her some chips. She's like, "No, I don't want these. These have been open. People had their hands and shit in them." And I was like, "Bitch, you
Mm,
can leave.
yeah, just get out.
Just go."
Yeah, some people just, some people.
I'm like, "Who are these people? Like the only person that lives here is me." Like, oh, I wish I would have kept that Yoshi. I would have went back to another level. Ugh. Man, this fucking this cape, dude. This cape is kind of like cheating in Mario. I'm straight up flying with a shell in my hand. Bitch. Ah, fuck it. Oh man. Yeah, they said Sonic the movie is trash.
Yeah, that design looks terrible.
I kind of agree.
Like
Posters
who?
look stupid.
What I wonder is when people like think these things, it's just like who is saying this is okay? Like who is sitting who is
Nobody.
sitting at this who is sitting at the board like, yeah, this is what people want.
I don't even need extra lives. I got the fucking secret place open. God damn it. Go back, get me fucking Yoshi and a. Even though I have to start the level over, I don't give a fuck.
I'm like so impatient with side scrollers like that. I know one of my the the one game, what was the one game I was like the most
Oh,
impatient
I don't
with?
even have to start over? Nice. Y'all going to hell and die. What are you playing, a fighting game?
Playing that Smash Bros, playing
Nice.
online.
I just heard like you win.
Yeah. Yeah, just playing online. Like I'm pretty much just doing the bullshit. Like my only character I play with, because Link is my favorite character in all video games, is he's the main character I play with. However, on rank match, when you lose, because I got him to elite. Elite, it's hard to get to. When you lose an elite fight, your rank goes down, and then I'll get kicked out of elite. I've been kicked out of elite so many times because you find some players that are really strong, and so I just play with other characters as of right now.
Which link do you think is the strongest?
Oh man, you don't want to ask questions like that because I could go for hours. But but Link is like technically he doesn't have like a strength, like a set strength,
Yeah.
because you have to go with timeline. So people say that each timeline would be different to that Link, which is true. But Breath of Wild Link would probably be the strongest because he they say that, well, the creators say that timeline, I mean Breath of the Wild Link ends at every timeline. So if he ends at every timeline, then that means he would have accumulated all the feats that every Link has had. So every link, feet wise, that would be our guy Breath of the Wild Link. So
Right.
you gotta be strongest. Plus, using science is a video on YouTube where the guy uses science, and after he uses the science, he goes to see how strong Link is, and it's this one thing Link does where he hits a rock, and when he hits the rock, it flies far, and because that's a thing, then that means Link. They said Link can every time he strikes with a punch, that's like that's like what do you say? That's like 2 million newtons of force. So
Okay.
Link is strong enough to every time he strikes, that's 2 million newtons of force.
Okay. Okay. So Link's fucking Breath of the Wild Links, but also that Ganon probably looks the most serious too.
Yeah, but I didn't like that Ganon. I really want them to take a new take on Ganondorf soon, because Ganondorf, just like Link, is my favorite villain of all time. It's just like they need to take a new take with him to make him likable. Like Bowser is likable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ganondorf is not that he isn't likable. Like he
Especially if
looks,
Bowser joins your team on Mario RPG, dude. He's cool.
yeah. See, it's not that Ganondorf isn't likable. Everybody likes how he looks and he's cool, but you don't have a connection with him yet. You don't have an emotional connection with Ganondorf yet, and that's what they need to give fans.
Boom. All right. This cape, dude, literally just allows you to just cheat through levels, man. I don't even care if I sacrifice Yoshi. What the fuck is that moon up there? How do I get back up there?
Yeah, right now I'm fighting Simon Belmont.
Re-up. Oh, nice. I don't even need that type of shit, though. I just be sacrificing Yoshis like motherfuckers, man. Fuck them. Just go get a new one.
Yeah, everybody says that they just Yoshi's are expendable, man. They didn't like the new Expendables. Sylvester Stallone.
The only one that matters is getting a blue Yoshi because any shell he eats can fly. Otherwise, if you just have a green Yoshi, you have to eat a blue shell to be able to fly. Hello? Hello? Oh, he's muted. All right. That's cool. All right. Just want to make sure everyone's still around. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Nay, you're right. I am trapped. You bish. Oh, fuck. Why'd I go in there naked? Oh, man. Let me see if I can get one more question out of Jalen before we should close this up soon. I'll have two number nines. Not bored in the house. All right. All right. Time to kick ass and chew bubblegum. But I'm all out of goddamn it gum. Ooh. Fuck you, Johnny Bones. He said, take that L. I'll definitely take that L, man. Like, sometimes you got to take an L to figure out how to win, man. Boom. All right. And it gave me a free mushroom. You can only kill this dude with the cape too. Yoshi's afraid to go into castles anyway, so it's not like I even needed him. Oh yeah, you can kill him like that too. Bones and bones and dry bones and bones and bones and dry bones and bones and bones and dry bones, and that's the way it goes. All right. I'm gonna finish this castle. I'll call it a done deal. What kind of guardian are you? Bitch. Wow, 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 wow. That's the sound effect this game used to make. I don't have sound playing for it. So. All right. Wait for Jalen to get back on. Do a good little outro. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in with the live chat. Man, you guys are always a pleasure having on. That's what you get for sacrificing it. What's going on in Monster League right now? I already got all my stuff done for the day in Monster League. See that island just grow for no reason? All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it quits for the day. I'd like to thank Jalen for coming on and being my guest. That was awesome. We went a little long for my Let's Plays. I usually do about like 40, 50 minutes. But it was so much fun having him on. We got a bunch of good discussion going on. It was great. Like I said before, I'd like to thank you guys in the live chat for coming on. Super fucking cool. And with that being said, I will see you tomorrow for episode 7, and I'll probably be by myself again. So I don't know. I might have my sister with me. Me and my sister are supposed to hang out. So maybe I'll have her be a guest and do all that. All right. Go live and play Monster League and I need to go live to play Monster League. I'd have to install Monster League on my tablet that I play with, and I don't want to do that. I just don't want to. Bye. Jordan's at work. He's at work for another 2 hours, so I can't bring him on. He's gonna be at work late tomorrow too, so he's not gonna be able to join. He'll be back on Thursday for a regular Timone show. But I'll let him know that prank call him. Yeah, call the store. He won't answer the phone. It will be whoever's the manager on duty at the time. So like he's not gonna answer the phone. But I'll look into doing some sort of Monster League whatever eventually. It'll definitely be after I do Super Mario RPG, so like I don't know, man. You'll but I'm gonna go for now. Thank you all for tuning in, dude. It was a long one. How long are we on for? Shit, dude, just shy of 2 hours. Fuck, man. All right, see you guys later.